Welcome to Bills Overdue, a Buffalo Fanatics vidcast. My name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalornia.
And my name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. And if you're hearing a difference in my voice, it's because I had a little mic issue when we were setting up today, Jeremy, and I'm going with the internal speakers on my laptop, so it may not sound the best.
Yeah,
but the mic I was using was not working, so
yeah,
have to live with it.
Giving us some audio difficulties, and because of that, we weren't really able to discuss the whole format of the show, Max. But you know what? It's okay.
We're good at just
winging
freestyling it. We're good.
Yeah.
People seem to like it more when we freestyle it, actually. So
probably. I don't know who those people are, but Max, I have a great place to start off, if you don't mind me taking the wheel.
Go for it.
I would like to talk about mine and your favorite Bills player, like our combined
absolute
favorite Bills player. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
We always loved him. We always loved him when he got brought in.
We've loved this player since he was signed. He reeks of process. We talk about him every week.
He reeks of process. Yep.
We talk about every week how much we love this player, Max. And of course, we're talking about AJ Klein. Am I right?
AJ Klein. He's always been the best. We've always loved him so much.
This has been a pro AJ Klein podcast. We've never had
since its inception.
Yeah, we've never had an ill word to say about him.
Yeah, we loved him when he wasn't on the Bills. We loved him so much when he was on the Bills, and he's proven us right yet again.
Yeah,
last week he did what he does.
He
balls
does.
out.
I mean, let's be honest, Max. The games leading up to this Seahawks game, he wasn't playing maybe his best football.
Yeah,
he was getting picked on a lot. But you and I, we knew this game was coming. We said
we didn't turn our backs on him.
Yeah,
because we knew it was coming, and we stood tall with our. We always said he was going to be the best ever.
Yeah, we're actually friends with AJ Klein. We hang out with him sometimes. We talk to him. So yeah. Anyways, AJ Klein, quite possibly snubbed for Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah,
would you say so? I think like someone on the Titans, a defensive player, won it, and then you look at what he did, and compared to what AJ Klein did, and AJ Klein had a much better game. So
you have a sack, a forced fumble, a lot of tackles for loss. Like he was a beast all night, all afternoon last week. And, he's amazing.
Yeah,
we always
love AJ Klein. Absolutely, we've been waiting for a time to just share how much we loved him.
Yeah.
And this seems like a good time. So
all you haters that turned your back on AJ Klein, we were there from the beginning. We stood by him, next to him, because we love him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Jedi Spartan.
Yeah.
For the $1.
That dollar verifies that we have always said nice things about AJ Klein.
Smash that like if you like AJ Klein right now.
But to be a little real, Max, AJ Klein has had a rough season up until this Seahawks game. And I think like right before he made like his first big play, I had texted you and said, hey, we should do a weekly segment called does AJ Klein still suck? And you're like, haha, yes. And like I think like right after I texted that, he got like his first sack of the game. And my dad was like, oh, who was that? And I was like, oh, I bet it was AJ Klein because I was just talking shit about him. And it turns out it was AJ Klein. So that happened.
Yeah. How about, I think he should get comeback player of the year just for that one game. Like if he continues to be terrible the rest of the season, just because of that one good game for the Seahawks, I think he should be comeback player of the year.
Yeah. Very good. Let's throw up Scott Van Loo. Thank you for the super chat of $20, sir. Says, I don't know if you guys saw the report, but Josh Norman, Levi Wallace, defensive coordinator, all got COVID-19, and they're not traveling with the team. And I believe one other defensive player. That's some breaking news. I have it right here. The Buffalo Bills PR and maybe their actual Twitter posted it. But this morning, cornerback Josh Norman tested positive for COVID-19. Norman was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list and will not travel to play in Sunday's game. Per tracing protocols, 3 other players, red zone threat Tyler Kroft, who we have also loved since the beginning. He's amazing. Levi Wallace and safety Dean Marlowe. have also been placed on the list and are not going to be able to play tomorrow, as well as defensive assistant coach Leonard Johnson, whose name is the first time I have heard this. So yeah, let's get into that, Max. Some
Yeah,
our
it's unfortunate.
our CB2A and 2B are out of the game.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. We got, Wallace is down, Norman is tested positive, and Dean Marlowe. I feel like Dean Marlowe flies under the radar with Bills fans. We don't seem to talk about him enough. He
Max,
seems
I'm
to
sorry,
always
but
come out and make some plays.
we got to bring up this the super chat. But is Dr. Jedi Spartan is this a Pats fan or a Bucks
I
fan?
can confirm he's a Pats fan. I know who Dr. Jedi Spartan is. I know a Jedi
Oh,
Spartan.
is he your buddy that we had on the week before?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's actually downstairs right now trolling me, but he's sending me money, so I appreciate it.
You're
Appreciate it,
getting
Dr.
paid
Jedi Spartan. I'm getting
to be
paid.
trolled.
That's pretty
To be
awesome.
trolled.
Yeah.
We both are actually, because we split this money. So
It's true.
hey,
Yeah.
I can get trolled for money. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
like it.
a bit of a crush to our defense. So we have, they said, called up from the practice squad, linebacker Darren Lee, who I think we are
Yes,
excited
I'm excited to see his debut.
Cornerback Daryl Worley, who we was released by the ex-Panther, of course, but was a Cowboy afterwards. So, he had a little in between there. Wide receiver Jake Kumaro, safety Josh Thomas, and cornerback stud Dane Jackson.
And I want to bring up Juan Castillo's comment here. Dane Jackson is going to be huge for us. He had that kind of breakout game against the Jets a couple weeks ago, and he's got an opportunity now. He was called up. He's got an opportunity.
Is he like our new practice squad darling? Maybe.
Yeah, I think he is. He's definitely a new Bills Mafia darling. And I think he should be good. He got that pick against the Jets. Yeah, another good opportunity for him to, injuries happen in the NFL. COVID happens in the NFL this year, and you got a chance to be elevated to the active roster. You got to make the most of it. So I think Dane Jackson, if he can play well, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think
Arizona's got some weapons though.
They do. So I mean, not only will he get to play, but he'll definitely most likely see some targets. And I think we're all excited to see him play again after like his first game against the Jets. So it'll be cool to see what he can do.
Yeah, it seems like the general vibe in the chat is we'll be fine as long as Dane Jackson can step up. We also got Daryl Worley, who knows what we're going to get in him. He's an ex-Panther, so he could be bad. He could be terrible. He could be good.
Yeah, I don't think he was having a good season. Obviously, that's probably why the Cowboys released him.
This is our second Daryl ex-Panther. We had Daryl Williams on our offensive line. Daryl Williams has been amazing for us at that right tackle position.
So if you want to go off of science and analytics, Max, we got, if your name is Daryl and you're an ex-Panther, you do pretty well. It's science.
Yep, Daryl.
We got
go Daryl.
Who's the defensive end we have? Is that Daryl
Johnson?
Daryl Johnson, right?
Daryl Johnson,
also Daryl.
Also Daryl. I mean, he's been all right. He made that one great special teams tackle last week against the Seahawks.
Oh, he did.
He absolutely blew up the return man.
It's good to be a Daryl on the Bills right now. So yeah, I say. So let's talk about safety, because Micah Hyde, I believe, was limited, right? I think I saved that as well. I usually save the injury reports, and this time I did not. So sorry about that.
Zachary asked who's going to play safety if Hyde can't go. And I think if Hyde can't go, I think Jeremy, you and I are probably in agreement on this. It's Jaquan Johnson, right?
Yeah, usually when Hyde
since Dean Marlowe's out.
Because I think I guess Jaquan Johnson would he be like Hyde's Poyer's backup?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I think we'll definitely see Jaquan Johnson, who I think also we would be excited to watch play. He did really well in the preseason last year, and it'll be cool. It's a bummer to have these guys out, but at the same time, it's like you want to see these guys step up, and you kind of want to see them, show up. So it'll be exciting. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
So questionable. Cody Ford is questionable. He went from not practicing to 2 limiteds, but he's questionable. Micah Hyde.
Quick, I just want to bring this up real quick to interrupt. Buffalo Mafia News is friends with Jaquan on the PlayStation. So tell him, Buffalo Mafia News, tell him to play well tomorrow.
And
All right.
also tell him to maybe come on our show sometime.
And make sure you don't beat him in PlayStation. Make sure he wins so he can feel good entering tomorrow's game.
So Micah Hyde ankle, he went from limited on Thursday to not practicing on Friday. And people have told me that sometimes that going from limited to not practicing on a Friday is maybe is more of like a safety measure. So I don't know, but he's questionable, so he could play. And then we have Taiwan Jones out again, and Delshon Phillips out for sure. So a better injury report than the last week or two, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Other than the COVID list, I mean, the injuries cleared up, and then COVID was like, I got it from here. So yeah,
I mean, what are we gonna do? By the way, what are we gonna do without our favorite tight end, Tyler Kroft, Jeremy? We've become big Tyler Kroft fans after not being Tyler Kroft fans at all.
Yeah, I want to address.
It's going to be Dawson Knox.
I want to address this really quick. Oops, sorry, Lone Wolf, didn't mean to pull you up. Todd says you guys don't read Facebook comments. We only see one set of comments. I don't really know where they come from, to be honest.
Oh, no,
that's just what they give us.
I see
we're
YouTube,
seeing his.
I see Facebook, I see, we get them all.
Okay, so there is Facebook.
Yeah, we read Facebook comments. Yeah.
Well, then, if you think we are just intentionally not,
we're not trying to
Facebook,
cherry pick the YouTube comments. I swear.
Not at all. So very sorry, but at first I thought maybe there was a mistake and we weren't seeing them.
No, we're good.
So yeah, questionable guys, but we also got some guys that are on the COVID. It will be a bummer.
They got the cocoa.
Yeah, but again, we've got guys stepping up that I think we're also just excited to see how well they play. But yeah, Joe Miller says look at the icon. So yeah, I saw the Facebook
Come on,
icon.
Jeremy, what are you doing?
But I'm sorry, I thought I was like addressing a possible like problem. I see a lot of YouTubes. So anyways, Joe Miller in the house, thank you for being part of it. Check out the Overreaction podcast, that post after the game. Good podcast. It's one of my favorites on the channel.
Amazing podcast. Love it.
However, Joe, since I have you here, I wanted to say I don't think Joe really overreacts. I think it's a very reasonable reaction podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if that maybe that
not
name
living up to your name, Joe. Come on. Say
If you-
some crazy stuff.
Yeah, if you see Overreaction podcast and you're like, I don't want to listen to some guy just going crazy, he doesn't. Like I said, Joe is he's the voice of the Overreaction, but also like the voice of like Bill's Mafia in a way. He's got like a very soothing, cool voice.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if he can overreact in his voice. Like he does, don't get me wrong, but Joe is very cool. But check out his podcast. It's awesome. And he makes very good points in case anybody was curious. Another super chat.
We got a super chat here. I'm going to bring it up. PVC Fam 4 says, do you think we underestimated the loss of Shaq Phillips, in parentheses, worst being moved to date, in my opinion, and Star? Yeah, I think Star Latulele, I've seen memes about it where we did not appreciate Star Latulele when we had him. There were the jokes going around like, that he just he's not a flashy player. But listen, I think what we've realized in 2020, of course, Star opts out. He may not be a flashy player, but he does what he's asked to do. And he was huge for us last year. So we definitely underestimated the loss of Star, I think. Shaq Lawson, great run stopper. I think he's key to our run defense. It's unfortunate. I don't think we could really re-sign Shaq Lawson. And Phillips, I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I think Jordan Phillips, he was good. But Jeremy, you bring it up all the time. What he was being asked to be paid, I don't think we would be willing to pay that. So
yeah, I mean, he ended up, I think, getting $10 million a year. And again, I didn't think he was going to have a repeat of that season. And I think it was the Ed Oliver show. We're expecting him to take off. And of course, like, I don't want to look back on these even more in retrospect because of like the way our defense is performing. Going into the season, like on paper, I think our defense like did get better. It's just like, I don't know, execution, like missing assignments, like we should have a better defense. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm not going to be captain like retrospect or whatever and
Yeah.
say, well, now that it's done, no, I'm fine. I'm still fine with us not having Phillips. But I think that what we really miss is like just like their attitude and like locker room presence. I've seen a lot of people mention that, and I
It's
agree
true.
with that. I think Phillips was kind of like our dog, like on defense. Shaq a little bit too. Um, Kind of like how Zachary's mentioned right here. Like I was just saying, I love the energy
Oh
Phillips and Shaq
yeah,
brought.
the
I was
big
actually
hand
just
motions. Phillips,
yeah,
Jordan Phillips' signature. The hand motions get everyone on their feet, pumps everyone up. He's a great Bills
absolutely.
Mafia guy. Love the fans, and that's important. That the organization sees that and they appreciate that, and the players reciprocate to that. So that's huge.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I miss their energy, but I think I'm okay with the moves we made. We just need the guys that we have to just, play better.
Yeah.
I saw you Snicker and Max. Is there a comment that
Well,
caught your
first
eye?
there was a comment on Snicker and Nat. First, I want to get to this one though. Michael Nab says, "Can Dawson Knox get back on Good Morning Football Angry Runs hit list again?" I'd love to see it, but
The
we
Titans
need we
game.
need a Dawson Knox breakout game this year. It's got to happen. Like he had a lot of kind of flashy plays his rookie year. This year he's regressed. He's been injured a lot. Hasn't been on the field. He's fumbling issues. His catch issues are back.
Did he
Um,
fumble?
I know he. So I say fumbling issues because this actually worked out in Dawson Knox's favor. But if you remember in week 2, Jeremy, when that Miami Buffalo game, when the power went out and no one could watch the game,
Hmm.
apparently Dawson Knox. This is lost footage. No one's ever going to see this footage, but apparently Dawson Knox caught like a 30-yard pass and then fumbled at the end of the play.
Hmm.
So again, no one will ever see that play, which is kind of odd to me. It's just lost in football history forever.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that he did fumble that ball.
I know he had a like a 50-yard. He caught like a bomb or something, right? Like he had a really big catch. It's not the same one though, right?
Was it against Miami?
Yeah, because I remember we lost power and I was watching the NFL app and it said like that he caught like a pretty big
Oh, really? I think that
pass.
was it. And then he fumbled at the end,
Okay.
though. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, he had one. It is. We got another super chat. I got this one, Max. It's from Scott again. Thank you so much, sir. You're making up from last week
Appreciate it,
where we
Scott.
got very little. All the analysts talking about Kyler Murray and how special he is. Do you think we can keep him one-dimensional football and keep him in the pocket and sack him? Don't get me wrong. He's got great escape ability. I go back to the Baltimore game last year and I look at how McDermott planned against Lamar Jackson. So I feel like they can do that again. They can make another game plan. The defense just has to do their job. I remember the whole thing last year against Lamar Jackson was like mind your business. I think it was like worry about like your job because like the
Big
second you start
trust.
worrying about something else, that's when Lamar can take advantage. So I think that McDermott can come up with another good game plan. Again, it's just all in the defense, obviously, to execute it. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a difficult matchup for this Bills defense. It's not going to be like last week where going into it's like, oh, it's the Russell Wilson show. It's going to be tough to stop. But that was actually, we saw that it was a good matchup for that Bills defense because it's a one-dimensional Seahawks offense. Whereas, I think Arizona can run the ball and pass the ball, and Tyler Murray is going to be tough to contain with our front four has been generating a little more pressure the past 3 weeks. So I think we got to keep that up. And if those guys can start, if they're gonna have to be firing on all cylinders tomorrow, our front
Yeah,
four,
and
in order
he's
to contain Kyler.
and he's not just like an evasive like mobile quarterback, but he's like that team's running back as well. I believe he's like the leading rusher. But yeah, I'm putting my faith in McDermott and Frazier to come up with another game plan. Did you see that they had Matt Barkley and I think Isaiah McKenzie? They were like pretending to basically be Kyler Murray like for
Yeah,
practice. And I was wondering, I was like, how do you have like what part of that does Matt Barkley play? Like what part of
yeah.
Kyler Murray does Matt Barkley play? If you guys know in the chats and you can let me know, like please do.
I'm wondering if like Isaiah McKenzie gets the ball and he just runs around for a while in the backfield, and then at the end he just like pitches the ball like a couple yards back to Mac Barkley, who actually throws the ball. Like,
Yeah,
is this a 2-person
yeah,
effort to play one guy?
yeah.
It's interesting.
So
And
like
that what's
he
funny
runs
about that
around.
is McKenzie was being Kyler Murray this week in practice, and I think Isaiah McKenzie, after he did it, he put it on social media on his Instagram stories. He put videos up of him in the offseason throwing the football, like showing people, like, yeah, I got this quarterback thing down. Like I could be Kyler Murray in real life.
Well, we know he can play cornerback, so I mean,
Yeah, he's
maybe
versatile.
if
McDermott loves versatility.
Josh goes down, maybe let McKenzie go in for a few snaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of Isaiah McKenzie, he had like his first like actual like passing touchdown against the Seahawks. Um, like his touchdowns are always those ones where he's like in motion and they
Hey,
hike it, and
pop
Josh is
passes are passing touchdowns. Those Josh
and
Allen
Josh.
pop passes are passing touchdowns,
Yes,
Jeremy.
they are. They are recorded as passing touchdowns, but like, are they though? Like, I bet Josh Allen likes the number. He's like, cool, I got a passing number, and I just had to do this. It's like he just dropped a loaf of bread or something. The best way
I
that
like
Barkley
I like this
portrays
comment.
Murray is the fact that they are both quarterbacks. That's pretty much
Yeah, I
it.
mean it's the position, but like, yeah, Bitcoin Barkley and Kyler Murray couldn't be further apart. Um, and that
But this
actually,
was,
sorry, what were you gonna say?
but this was Isaiah McKenzie's first touchdown, where he received the ball on the other side of the line of the scrimmage, and it was a touchdown pass. And not only that, he had to like kind of go up for it a little bit too. It was a good touchdown. Uh, Max, are you distracted?
Sorry, I'm reading the comments. There's one comment I want to get back to. Vinny T says, this is in reference to Dawson Knox. I realized I made a mistake. That play that he was where he fumbled was what I referenced. He actually got concussed. So yeah, that's true. I probably shouldn't blame Dawson Knox for fumbling when he just got concussed at the end of the play.
Yeah, jerk.
That's a good call, Vinny T.
Yeah,
You're right about that.
it's like that. I bet when like that catch where like Antonio Brown caught it, and then like Vontae's Burfict just like knocked his soul out of his body for a little while, and you know,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, where you Max is probably like, wow, great hand skills, Antonio Brown. God, you got to hold on to that. And he's like,
Yeah.
probably like legally dead for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Until they zap him back up. But Max, I don't know.
I watched Dak Prescott, take the slide in that Cowboys game, and then his ankle like fell off, and I was
Oh
like,
man,
that's a good form slide there, Dak.
how about this comment, Max? You're talking about what about this one right here? Cinco de Maxo's girl in the chat.
Oh shit.
Do you have a lady friend, Max? I don't know.
I do have a lady friend.
And is she in this chat? I don't think her name is
apparently
Max.
I don't see her in the chat, but
that's also a Max Milstein.
Yeah.
Is your lady friend's name Maxine?
No, it's not. Her name's Taylor.
Okay. Would you date a girl named Maxine?
I don't think I would. I think that's a little too similar to my name.
It's good looking and everything, like same things in common, but you're like, oh, your name's Maxine. Sorry, that's too weird. You wouldn't do it?
I don't think I'd do it. No. Is this an interview? What's going on here? What did this turn into?
Sorry. It was in the chat. We had to bring it up. We have
another. Oh, here we go. We got another super chat from Dr. Jedi Spartan. Pat's Nation. Go Brady. Do I have to read this? He gave us $5. I think I have to read it.
You got to read it, Max.
Go Brady, boo Bills Mafia. Brady has 6 rings and is better than Josh Allen. The Bucs will win the first home Super Bowl. All right, thank you, Dr. Jedi Spartan. That's all.
Hey, Max, how about that Patriots and Jets game, Monday Night Football? You know the one
where the Patriots, let's talk about that.
Where the Patriots were losing to the Jets for the majority of the game? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, the game where the Patriots offense trusted Cam Newton about as much as the 2013 Bills trusted EJ Manuel. Yeah, I think that was good.
Who were you pulling for in that game, Max? Patriots or Jets?
It was a can't lose situation. You're just watching it, and I just like was smiling ear to ear, seeing Joe Flacco throw bombs and seeing both the Jets suck and the Patriots suck simultaneously. Like it was a win-win. It was amazing.
It's like, yeah, it's like on one hand, I want to see the Patriots lose to the Jets, who are awful, but at the same time, it's like we want the Jets to go 0-16. So let us know in the chat who you guys are going for, Patriots or Jets. I'm curious, but Joe Flacco had a pretty decent game, and then all of a sudden, I don't know why Gase would say this, but somebody was like, "Hey man, we're trying to get Trevor Lawrence. Can you like calm that shit down?" and then they ended up losing like in the final drive. So, anyways, yeah, the Patriots are so good.
Patriots. Oh man, I still think there's. I was talking to a Patriots fan this week, and they're like, I think they're going to win against Baltimore this week on Sunday Night Football. It's like, dude, like, how delusional are you? You're 2-5. You're really going to beat? You really think you're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know about that one. Lone Wolf says Tampa lost. Yeah, the Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl, but they got blown out by the Saints, which was
Yeah,
this was I guess this was the
this
first
was
time Brady has gotten swept by a division rival. Like I know it's a new team for him and it's like a new division rival, but like I guess it's the first time he has lost to a division rival like twice in one
yeah.
season.
This was a crazy good weekend for the Bills. The Bills beat the Seahawks. Tom Brady gets blown out in prime time. The Jets and Patriots go to a wire in an absolute just horrible toilet bowl of a game. And the Bills are like in Super Bowl conversations again. This was a great week.
Yeah, great week. And I would like to put up Young King's comment. Thank you so much. Like this video up. Buffalo Fanatics. Smash that like if you guys are enjoying this. We very much appreciate it. We appreciate you guys for being here and filling up those comments, giving us some good talking points.
Yep.
Makes our job even easier.
Yeah,
so,
I like the comments. I like when tons of comments are coming in to distract me from the comments from my housemates that are making to troll me. That's helpful. I like that because there's many comments in here that are just trolling.
Did you share the link with them?
They know where it is. I told them it's on Buffalo Fanatics YouTube, and they researched it themselves and they figured it out. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, hey, if they want to just keep paying, keep that super chat coming.
Tony B, another great comment. Tony B, always with the banger comments. Brady didn't drink his inshore and prune juice before the game. He's getting so old, man. Is he finally washed? Should we have the is Tom Brady washed conversation?
He's gonna have to start using his life alert on the field when he gets sacked too hard.
Yeah,
he gets knocked down. He's like, oh, I need it.
You already saw signs of dementia in that Thursday night game where he holds up the four. Like is it fourth down? Is it fourth down?
And was that when they're like, no, that was fourth down?
That was fourth down. Yeah. And Brady's like, what? Yeah. We never made it to third down, and we never made it to fourth down in New England, though.
Like the refs made sure of that.
Yeah. Zachary Dunham. Tom Brady sits when he pees.
I agree.
It's true.
Tom Brady probably eats plain donuts. Just those plain
probably
ones with, no frosting, no anything, just plain donuts. I bet that's his favorite one.
Yeah. Should we talk about a little bit about the Seahawks Bills game?
Yeah, I know it's been a while and I didn't take that many notes because let's be honest, it was a good game, Yeah. And so I mentioned my good things to mention were, Isaiah McKenzie's first actual passing touchdown. Yeah, so we got very awkward, which was fine. I like the conversation we were having. I like where that was going. But I take a lot of stuff to talk about for this podcast. So the good, first off, Andre Roberts has his best return so far, right?
Yeah, Andre Roberts. When Andre Roberts returned it to the Seahawks 45-yard line, it was like, all right, we're in business. This is going to be the day for the Bills.
And it was the very beginning of the game, and then we scored in 3 plays. That was awesome. And of course, it was Isaiah McKenzie's first touchdown. Also, we're talking about AJ Klein and all of his stats. AJ Klein broke up a pass on accident.
Wait, what play are you talking about?
He was covering somebody on the sideline. He's following somebody, and the pass was targeted for him, and he just wasn't even looking, and the ball was underthrown and just hit him in the back.
Oh yeah, it was going to be a good day for Klein. That's when you knew it was going to be a good day for Klein.
Yeah. At first, I was ready to start saying bad things, and one of the first things I mentioned bad was it was earlier in the game, and it was a run play. And AJ Klein got into the backfield very easily, and I remember seeing, I was like, oh, someone's right there.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was 54, and I was like, oh, it's AJ Klein though, and he couldn't even catch up to the running back.
He couldn't seal the edge. Yep, I know that play you're talking about.
So I remember putting that down.
7 yards on that play.
Yeah, so I remember putting that down. It's well, here's the beginning of my AJ Klein shitting on for the game. But then that was it. After that, he did good. So yeah, like nothing else. That was really all I wrote down for the good, Max. Honestly, like
Oh, I
the
mean, there was
offenses.
so much more that was good. Like this
Okay,
offense was firing on all cylinders. It could not be
offense was
stopped.
awesome. Offense was
Um,
awesome. The defense did what they had to do. The turnovers.
the turnovers, the timely
Yeah,
turnovers reminded me of the 2017 Bills where they just got turnovers every game, like four
of
turnovers
course,
every game. It
one of those
was
sack,
awesome.
one was a sack fumble because of AJ Klein, and then the Trey White interception, which was almost a pick six. Um, those are like plays that I get really impressed when I watch because, and it's kind of like it was like one of the Trey White's interceptions against the Steelers last season, where he's just watching the quarterback, and it's like he's near the receiver, he knows he's there, but then eventually he's just like, oh, receiver doesn't matter. Like I'm watching the quarterback's eyes, and he just gets there and like picks him off. I feel
Yeah.
like it was kind of similar, and it's like really impressive to me because I never played, but just to see him like use his eyes and just think like the guy he's supposed to be spending is like, you're not worth
Yeah.
my time
Yeah.
right
It's
now, and he
great
just
read.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then he just goes and picks off Metcalf. That was awesome. Like
Yeah. It
I
was really
love
cool. It was a
Trey
really
White
like
interception.
smart, high IQ play by Trey White. He gets the big return. He nearly takes it to the house. That was awesome.
Hmm.
But yeah, this defense, it was like the timely turnovers. Jerry Hughes was a factor. He got that strip sack on Russell Wilson to open up the second half. And unfortunately, I think we only got a field goal on that drive, but it was amazing. Even when we were back down in like 2nd and 20, we were still, hitting these plays. Allen got the one thing that was bad, Allen got sacked 7 times. Um,
Yeah, but the funny thing is like it didn't really seem like it though. Like, like a 7 sack game like
yeah,
sounds bad for an offense. Like you would think, oh my God, he got sacked again. But when I saw those numbers for the first time and it's like he's been sacked 7 times, I was like, really? Like it didn't really seem like it. I know he did,
yeah.
but it was just like not that many of them were
It's
like
true. The way the
detrimental.
game flow was, it didn't feel like he was sacked 7 times, and it was partly mostly because the Bills were just unstoppable on offense.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
offense was so good that, like, it was like a sack was like, it's all right. We'll get him on
yeah.
the next one.
How great was it to just absolutely embarrass Jamal Adams again? This is what we do. This is what we do to Jamal Adams. We never
Well,
Jamal Adams in the games that we play against him. He's never a factor. He's
to
never a
be
factor,
fair,
even though he's supposed to be this all-pro guy. He's never a factor against the Bills.
he did embarrass Dawson Knox on that sack that he got. Um,
Oh yeah, that was that
Dawson
one.
Knox
Yeah,
just
one play.
could
Fair
not
enough.
couldn't block him. And I was like, how is like 5'8" Devin Singletary gonna pick up blitzes and block like pass block like pretty well, but Dawson Knox, who's like 6'5" and 200, who knows, 200 and tight end pounds, like gonna get blown up like that. It was sad, but he did get that sack. And then afterwards, they're showing him all over the sideline, and he's just like trying to be all pumped up. And it was like, dude, shut up, like just stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the like the game break. Jamal Adams is really pissed off on the sideline. Here's some footage of him yelling, getting into his teammates because he's such a leader. It's like
Yeah,
like what is this narrative? Like, yeah, of course he's pissed off. His team's down to the Bills right now, and he's pissed off. Like, why wouldn't he be?
yeah. I'd like to pull up Sean's comment and use that as kind of like a segue into the bad, which was very little, but 7 sacks, but also 3 linemen coming off the bench due to injuries that game. How big of a factor were those during sacks? Yeah, like our O line was getting pretty banged up this game.
Yeah,
Um, I
and I'd say
know.
credit to our O line for only giving up 7 sacks. Listen, I know there were 7 sacks, but Josh Allen had a lot of time in the pocket on a lot of plays, and he was able to make the throws. The pocket held up enough for him to have such a huge day. So I really credit that offensive line for having a solid day in spite of all the injuries, all the mixing and matching they had to do on the line. Darrell Williams goes out into play. Mitch Morse was already out to start the day.
Yeah,
Brian
so
Winters goes out at a certain point. Cody Ford is out.
I said
Yeah,
I said it in the offseason when I found out Feliciano was out. I was like, I'm more bummed that we lost our backup center than our guard. But then I realized how
yeah,
important John Feliciano was to our run game, and then I was like, okay,
yeah,
maybe it's equal. So, but John Feliciano was in center for the whole game, and he does really well. But Cody Ford went out kind of early, so I believe Butker had come in, and then Brian Winters got injured, and part of me was like, good, go sit down. Like, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing anyways.
I actually got concerned. I'm not really like I was like with the amount of injuries we had, I was like, we need Brian Winters in the game right now, and it feels weird to say
Like,
that, but it's
it
like
sounds
we
mean. Like,
need Brian Winters.
I'm not like wishing injuries, but it's like if you came to me and said, "Hey, like I'm the injury bug and I have to take somebody out on offense. Who's it going to be?" I'd be like, "Oh, Brian Winters, done. Take him, please." Like if we get to vote. But he was only out for a little bit. Ryan Bates came in for him. I'm curious how Ryan Bates did. Obviously, again, the offense seemed fine, but the people who actually watch the tape afterwards, I'm curious how uh Bates did in those limited snaps, because again, he's been like on this team since last year and we
Yeah.
barely get to see him.
Yeah.
Even like, Butker gets like the start over him. So I'm curious how he did. But yeah, so the
Jeremy,
bad stuff. Go ahead.
I have a question. Are you finished with that talking point?
I think so. I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. All right. I got a question, Jeremy. Why didn't the Bills run the ball more, Jeremy? I thought they were going to run the ball more.
Perfect question.
I had a, if the Bills ran the ball more, I thought the Seattle Seahawks might have won.
Yeah. And I think I kind of put that as like my what the fuck for the week, and it was to Pete Carroll. It was to Pete Carroll. So Pete Carroll was talking afterwards. He's like, I didn't expect Buffalo to just completely like abandon the run game. And it's just so funny because it's like you have a historically bad pass defense right now.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why like people are going after are passing the ball more. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, every team for the rest of the season should be like, we're gonna pass it. It's gonna be like a 90-10 pass to run ratio. Like if we didn't like set that up, like, yeah, it was just funny. It's kind of like if you were
I think
boxing.
Pete Carroll forgot where he was. I think he forgot that he was in a press conference and not just talking to his buddies after the game or something. Like, there's certain things you don't say, and part of it might have been the fact that he got a huge contract extension like hours before the game, or maybe it was the day before. Yeah, he got a huge contract extension, so maybe he just said, "Fuck it, I can say whatever I want, and no one's gonna fire me. I'm just gonna."
He's got a window. He's got a window where they can't fire him at all because it would look too bad.
Yeah.
So he go out there, but it's
I think
it's almost
Pete Carroll
like
had a really good day Sunday, despite the fact that they lost. I think he didn't really care. He was like, "I got money now. I got big money, and I'm gonna be here for a while. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say what I want."
But it's kind of like if you were in like a boxing match and you had just gotten like stabbed the day before in like your side, and you're like, "Hey, I'm good at box. Just please don't hit me in this area, obviously." And the other guy's gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna hit you there a whole bunch of times. Like, why would you not?" But that was funny.
Yeah, it was
funny
hilarious.
for him to say that. It was hilarious, and Pete Carroll's like, I wasn't trying to be funny, but okay." Isn't it crazy how Pete Carroll is like, he went from having the Legion of Boom to
the Legion of Doom.
Well,
or the Legion of, I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I'm trying to think of something witty, but I can't.
Let me put it this way. The Seahawks went from having the Legion of Boom, Legion of Doom defense to a historically bad defense, but the same head coach like during that exact time. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of interesting,
that is
right?
odd. Like, what does he prioritize? Like, it makes you think, like, certain coaches, you're like, oh, Sean McDermott, it's a defensive head coach. His team will always have a good defense. Mike Tomlin, defensive head coach. His team will always prioritize defense. But, like, Pete Carroll is like, well, fuck it. Whatever players we have, we're going to get it done. Like, yeah. I don't care if it's a good offense or a good defense.
Yeah. But very funny. Good stuff.
How about Legion of Gloom? Yes. Like that a lot.
That's what I got right now for sure. Oh, yeah. And Josh tried to get in there like right before you, like right after he said it. Legion of Gloom.
Sorry, Josh.
Or wait, Josh, Legend of Gloom.
I think Sean had a typo. Sean was meant to say Legion.
Probably. I think it's the same thing. But you two,
sorry.
You're like, you should become friends now. You got like the same mindset going on.
Sean was first though. It's better to be first than to be right. And he was first.
No, I get it. I'm sure that's what I meant. But I was just pointing out how close they were.
I'm just making it a competition. I think they should be enemies, actually. I like this comment. Yeah, I put in my outrageous predictions column this week. I was like, I think Russell Wilson, burnt down the whole kitchen with his specialty 4 burnt apple turnovers.
Nice.
It was corny as hell, but
It must have been corny because I don't remember reading. I read it and I don't remember that part. But yeah, if you look at Russell Wilson's numbers, like they looked good. He had almost 400 passing yards as well, 2 touchdowns. However, like he
yeah,
was pretty much responsible for all 4 turnovers. He had both the fumbles, obviously, that were both lost, and he had both those interceptions. One of his touchdown passes was like, I think that's like my slap on the wrist for the game. Like that play where he just had a wide open receiver in the end zone.
yeah,
And it
where
was
he's
like a 50
running to the
yard.
line of scrimmage and throws up a bomb.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know who was supposed to be like defending that guy, but they just like let him go because I think they saw him scrambling and thought something else was going to happen.
yeah.
But
I watched.
he
I
just
actually
chucks it, and the dude is he's standing there like he's not even moving. He's just waiting for the ball to come to him in the end zone, and it was like, what the hell? One of those, and it was like I don't know if the defense was just getting a little lazy because we had the
the
score.
defense was playing. I listened to some smart people this week, and the defense was playing prevent on that play, and Trey White was actually playing like a safety position on that play, and Trey White fucks up here because he kind of prioritized this guy that's going over the middle of the field, and completely lets the wide receiver get behind the defense. So that's actually on Trey White there, but he was playing safety, so like doesn't
Yeah.
count. Doesn't count against Trey White. Trey White's still amazing. We love him.
I would like to bring up this question, Max, and get your opinion on it as well. So Jeffrey asks, so hey guys, I got a question. At the end of the season, do you think Josh Allen will be the MVP? I want to talk about the MVP talk because, Max, if you're looking at quarterbacks for MVP, because let's be honest, it's like always a quarterback who wins it.
Yep.
Like, what are you looking at in total? Obviously, it's like passing yards, touchdowns, and I mean, is that kind of it? Like, what do you do?
So I mean, I think it mostly has to do me for the least amount of interceptions and the most amount of touchdowns, and passing yards isn't really a huge factor because like I think Matt Ryan might be number 1 in passing yards. He's in the top 5 or something. But like,
and in the first few weeks, like after like 5 or 6 weeks, like of the top 5 passers, Josh Allen was in there, and he was the only one on the team with the winning record. The other ones were like Dak Prescott. It was quarterbacks who were throwing the ball to like try and win the game because they're like coming from behind. So the passing yardage is like it needs a little bit for me. That's like more
like last year.
Context to that.
Yeah, like last year, Jameis Winston won the passing yard competition by a mile, but he's the backup this year. Like that's the reality of it. The amount of yards you throw for doesn't necessarily correlate to being an amazing NFL quarterback.
He also had the most interceptions, and it's like, well, that's why you have the most passing yardage because you're throwing those interceptions, and then you're like,
and
shit,
then you're getting back on offense.
Yeah, now we have to throw the ball more because we're behind. So passing yardage a little bit. I agree with the touchdowns. If it's over right now, like let's be honest, like
Michael
Josh
brings up
Allen,
a good point. Wins first. Wins are the most important, honestly. If you're leading your team on a successful journey to the playoffs, then that should be the most important. No one's going to win the MVP on a 6-10 football team.
Yeah. So right now, I think the talks for quarterback are Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. And I think Josh Allen has the least passing touchdowns, but if you go with total touchdowns, I believe he's at like 23, which puts him just above Aaron Rodgers. Passing yardage wise, they're all kind of the same. But Patrick Mahomes is having a good year as well. Like he's thrown one interception?
I think it's 1 interception. And if you look at the MVP storyline through the first like 4 weeks of the season, Russell Wilson was here, everyone else was below him. But in the last like 4 weeks or so, Russell Wilson has not been great. He's been throwing interceptions. We saw that in the Bills game. And he's been still throwing a crazy amount of touchdowns, but he has to throw a crazy amount of touchdowns because his defense is so bad.
Exactly. And his defense is like, we don't got this.
As Russell Wilson's throwing some interceptions, Patrick Mahomes is slowly creeping up there like, I still only have, Patrick Mahomes still only has 1 interception. Still throwing tons of touchdowns, leading his team to victories. I think Mahomes is the clear front runner right now. Yeah, and I think Josh Allen is on the fringes of the discussion.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is at 25 touchdowns and 1 interception. I don't have his rushing stats right in front of me. So yeah,
I like this comment here. AK Cash, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray. I haven't heard Kyler Murray's name really in that. He's been having a good year, but I haven't
Yeah.
heard him there.
Well, you're going to be hearing it a lot on tomorrow for sure.
That's true.
He is having a good season. I didn't plan on having this conversation, or else I would have gotten like the stats more like ready because I was looking at him the other day. But to be honest, if the season ends right now, like I don't think Josh Allen doesn't win it. Like there's some guys who are just playing better, and in a way,
Yeah.
like Russell Wilson has less of a cushion. His defense is a little worse, so he has to play worse. So I think that and they have a winning record, so that looks good on him. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, like
let's just
I
take a
don't.
step back too. Like the fact that we're talking about Josh Allen, it still hasn't really set in for me the reality that we're talking about Josh Allen in the MVP discussion a year after, people were talking about last year Josh Allen being a bust. Obviously, we knew that wasn't the case because he's improved from year 1 to year 2. But like the trajectory this guy is on over the past 3 years is unreal. The career trajectory is unreal. So he's every day he's getting better. Every week he's getting better. He's doing something new every day. This was his best statistical game by far in his career. 31 for 38.
Only one person.
He threw the ball at 80%.
Only one person that can win MVP. So like the fact that Josh is being talked about is in the running, that's a win. Like let's just take it. Like he may not win it, and that's okay. Like the fact that he's in the discussion is fine. Like I'm cool with that.
What's also a win? This week, this was another amazing week for Bills Mafia because Josh Allen's grandmother passed away Saturday night, unfortunately. And, I believe Sean McDermott, had a conversation with Josh before the game. He's like, if you don't have to play, you don't have to play. But Josh wanted to play. Mm-hmm. Word gets out to Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia starts donating tons of money to Oshai Children's Hospital. I believe by the end of Sunday, it was close to $100,000. We're sitting here Saturday, and $500,000 has been donated to Oshai Children's Hospital. This is why I love Bills Mafia. This is why I love Bills Mafia so much. It's bigger than the game. I just got to give a huge shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone that donated. I donated $17. It's not much, but it goes a long way, and it just feels cool to be a part of that community, doing something for such a great cause. I had to get that off my chest. Josh Allen rounded it up. There was, I believe, Josh Allen saw that like $483,000 had been donated. He donated $17,000 because he's number 17. Super awesome. Thomas Burke says we're at $545,000. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. It's amazing. I was
trying to pull it up. I was trying to pull it up to see where we're currently at, but thank you for doing that. So over $500,000. And another cool thing is, on Thursday night football, I believe it's Corey Davis, a player for the Titans. He had lost his brother to cancer on the 12th, like that day or the day before. So somebody else started another one saying, let's donate, this like $10.12 because that was the date that his brother passed away to this one. So that was going around. I don't know if you guys saw, but I thought that was cool. I donated to that one as well because I'll be honest, like the Titans, like they've become like one of my least favorite teams recently. And
Mike Vrabel rubs me the wrong way. And
I don't really care about him. It was just the whole
situation.
COVID handling. Yeah, it was all that. And Ryan Tannehill, just like, I hate when he looks so happy in a game. Like, dude, like, dial it down. I mean, you show like Josh Allen on the sideline, like when he's winning, and he's just like, he's fine. But like Ryan Tannehill's just like you see his face, and it's like, dude, I just want to punch you. Like, knock it off. He didn't even have a great game. He had like one touchdown, like barely like 150 passing yards. Yeah. But however, somebody said, hey, like they're kind of like one of our rivals recently, but let's like show a better side. And I was like, that's cool. I absolutely agree. So someone started that. If you've seen it and donated, that's awesome. Cool. Like I would absolutely encourage it.
Do that. By the way, let's get to that game a little bit because that was a huge game, that Thursday night game. Colts, Titans. Colts get the victory. They go to like 6-3, and that drops the Titans to 6-3. I'm thinking ahead in my head already about pass to the playoffs. I'm thinking seeding, and that's a huge win for the Colts, because the Titans had the tiebreaker over us because they beat us head to head in like week 5, and so that puts us, we're in the 3 seed right now in the AFC, And with the expanded playoff, it's only one team gets a bye. The number one team gets that bye. That would currently be the Steelers. Then number 2, it's the Chiefs. And then number 3, it's the Bills. Jeremy, do you think there's a path to the number one? There's a path to the number 1 seed, but how likely do you think it is that the Bills somehow find a way to get the number 1 seed in the AFC?
I mean, the Chiefs is one thing. The Steelers. Let me talk about the Steelers. Like, I know they're undefeated, but I'm not that afraid of them. Like, as an undefeated team,
they haven't won convincingly against anybody. They're a great team.
Yeah, they almost lost to the Cowboys this week. It was almost like the Pats and Jets game. Like, the Steelers were behind to the Cowboys like that entire game. And when they were playing the Giants, like, that was a close game for like the first half. So yeah, like I'm not like that worried about the Steelers, like, to be honest. They're undefeated, so it looks good. But I really hope they kind of get like knocked down to reality soon.
We still have the Steelers coming up on our schedule. That's a huge opportunity. If we win that game, that's a huge opportunity to, let's say the Steelers lose another game. If we beat the Steelers, then we can maybe slide above them, get that 2 seed maybe.
Oh, Max, we got to bring this up from Tony B. This is amazing. Did you hear the Patriots are going to lose their website? Apparently, they can no longer string 3 W's together.
Dude, how does Tony come up with it? I want Tony on the show, man. This guy's amazing.
Smash that like for that.
Smash that like for that comment, man.
That was amazing. That was fantastic, sir.
How did that come out of his brain?
Bravo. Cool. I don't know if you're just repeating that or if you came about it on your own, but it's amazing. I love it. So yeah, like we have.
I think Tony B, like, throughout the week, he just like he's in his, like, every night he comes home from work, he sits at his computer and he just like writes up like potential witty comments for the Bills Overdue stream. I think that's what he does.
Lone Wolf says, I like Indy only because Frank Reich, but we could crush them in the playoffs. I like Indianapolis. That's my wife's favorite team, and they don't have any players that I dislike. I have no reason to dislike them, and I also like Frank Reich. I thought he did pretty well. My wife hates the Phillip Rivers signing. She's like, why did we spend all that money on him?
I gotta talk about the viral. There's a viral thing going around Twitter of Fox showed a graphic of a bizarre graphic of number of children. It's like Patrick Mahomes 0, Aaron Rodgers 0, Phillip Rivers 9. Like, that's their advanced analytics. It was going viral on Twitter. It was funny.
Yeah. But yeah, she's not happy with him. I tweeted on the game, like, Phillip Rivers looks like the football is a little too heavy for him when he throws it. Like, have you watched this? Just like the way his right arm looks. I was like, when the game was on, this was like the first game my wife was able to watch because of her work schedule, and it was Thursday night, so we had it on, and I was like, watch him throw the ball. I was like, it just looks weird. And she watched it. It's like, yeah, he does look kind of weird when he throws it. It's just like, it looks a little uncoordinated. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But she's not really happy with his signing. And I mean, they're doing a little too good to move on from him in the draft. I don't know who they can draft and
bad job, Indianapolis, for doing too good with a veteran quarterback. That now you can't draft a good quarterback, so that's a bad job by Indianapolis. They shouldn't be good right now.
Yeah,
they should think about their future. They should be losing.
We've been all over the place tonight. I don't even know where we're going.
I'm gonna bring up Cool Kitties because I like that username and I like the profile pic. I root for Indy because of Reich too.
Somebody asked us to talk about Tyler Bass. Yeah, they asked us to talk about Tyler Bass. Whoops, that was me. What to say about Tyler Bass? I am a big defender of Tyler Bass. Because of just his acclimation to the professional level as a kicker. I know it's harder. So, and also it's a weird year to have to do it too.
Up right here.
Bass Omatic. He's good. He missed they went out and let him kick a long one. It was one of those where it's like, I don't think they expected him to make it, but it was like the second half, I think, was winding down, and they're just like, yeah, just let him. Let's just see how this goes. And he missed it, unfortunately, but only because it was just inaccurate. Obviously, he has the power, but once he figures it out, it'll be awesome. But again, this is a weird year for him to acclimate because he's playing in some places with no fans, which you think he'd be making kicks, but also Bajorquez forgets how to hold a football.
Do you really think the fans make a difference kicking the ball? I don't know. I think it makes a difference whether when you're on offense or defense as a quarterback trying to
I mean,
communicate to your offense, protections and stuff before the snap. But I don't think it really should matter that much for a kicker. I
I
know
mean
the
the game
crowd noise
alone,
gets
the
excited,
game
but
alone is the game alone is going to add pressure, right? I
yeah,
mean, if you're going out
exactly.
there and they're saying, "Hey, you need to make this field goal to tie it, to win it, to get us in the game," regardless if it's like dead quiet or blaring, like that alone is going to add pressure, you know? And so, and then the fans, I don't know, I'd be interested to hear from a real like football kicker, like how like much like fans, because it's like sometimes if you're away or home, like you're facing fans who are like just cheering and making noise. So yeah, I'm curious how that works. Like maybe we can get Tyler Bass to come and
Oh,
talk to us.
sorry.
I bet nobody asked Tyler
Oh,
Bass
oh,
to
I'm
join the
pulling.
podcast.
Oh God,
Figure it out,
comments are coming
Max.
left and right. I want to pull up Lone Wolf's comment. Kickers are people too. Yeah, Tyler
Absolutely.
Bass. He's got the eye black thing going on. Um, Bruh magic with a reference to our the thumbnail. Our amazing Bobby came up with us. Does size matter? Size does
Yeah.
matter.
I know
We're all over the place.
my dad is a big proponent of like heights and quarterbacks. He's like, if they're too short, they can't see over the line. I thought it was funny when the Cardinals and the Seahawks played each other. Somebody made a joke of like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray next to each other, and they made Kyler Murray like really small. And I was
Yep.
like, that's like the worst time to do it because Russell Wilson is like
Yeah,
the
he's.
same height. They're the same height. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. And Kyler won that game for him. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That was like a terrible time. But I did see a
I,
picture somebody did of like Josh Allen and Kyler standing next to each other. And it was almost like that movie Twins, where it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger next to Danny DeVito. But even worse, it was like he was half his size. So that'll be an interesting like exchange after the game, like when the game's over and they go to say, "Hey, good game," just to see like the height difference between those two.
Yeah. This is Josh Allen 6'5". Kyler Murray is listed as 5'10". He's probably closer to 5'9" though. Yeah, this is going to be a huge height difference. I think one of the biggest height difference we've seen this season in two opposing quarterbacks. Kyler's
Yeah.
short. One of my friends tells me he's like, when Kyler Murray runs the ball, he thinks he almost runs like his feet, his little legs move so fast. He almost looks like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob when he runs the ball, which is an interesting take. My friend thinks that.
I would almost think of like Chucky from Child's Play. It's like like kind of scary. It's a little tiny thing like running across. If I was Kyler
Yeah.
Murray, I'd for sure be going up to like Moss, Singletary, and Beasley, so pictures can get me with people shorter than me. He's like, "Oh, I'm taller than those three guys. Like, I'm gonna go say good game just so I can get those pictures."
Yeah.
Somebody up here wants to talk about. I'm sorry. Did you want to add to the Kyler Murray
Go ahead.
jabs? Connor says, "Let's talk about Josh Allen's beard. That thing is on another level." Max, do you have any comments on Josh Allen's beard?
I haven't really like paid. I haven't inspected it too thoroughly yet. So I can't really comment yet.
He's still young. From my own experience, I hope that it continues to come in like fuller, because right now he's kind of just got like the chin strap thing where it's really full, and then he's got like a bit of the stash. Like, I hope it could come in like Lee Smith or Mitch Morse's beard. So,
we got a super
chat. The Max. So, where's your beer? And do you need me to bring you one? I would be happy to do that. I think you should say yes. Can we meet Dr. Jedi Spartan, Max? I would love for him to come in.
You want to meet him? Yeah, Toasty, come on up. We call him. His nickname is Toasty.
Toasty.
This is a college house. Toasty, feel free to come up into my room right now.
I would love for him to just say like a quick word. He's been giving us a lot of super chats tonight.
By the way, that's my beer.
I think
I'm gonna have to go unlock the door real quick. He's been giving us a lot of super chats. He's earned it.
It's true. He's given us at least $8 tonight, so he's in the area.
Toasty, get up here.
I'd like to put a face to the name, Dr. Jedi Spartan. But right, Thomas, it's a neck beard. Yeah, it's a little low.
He's coming.
Yeah. But I know from experience, like my beard continued to grow until I was like in my mid to late 20s. So it can keep going. Hopefully it gets better. So let's meet Dr.
Get over,
Jedi
get over
Spartan.
here. He's got blue hair.
Ooh,
Hey, what's up?
look at this guy.
What's up?
Oh, wow.
Hey, I'm a big Pats fan.
Oh,
I'm
no,
more of a Brady
no.
fan.
No, we got to get him out of here. We got to get him out of here.
All right,
Okay.
Drink the beer.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That's it.
He looked like an Amish raver.
He's a character, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, like an Amish person who goes to rave secretly when
He's-
nobody's paying attention.
college has changed him. He's definitely like, I think he came into college kind of a straight edge, but college has changed him.
Somebody said that Josh Allen had a bit of a neck beard, and then Jedi Spartan came in, and Thomas says
He put Josh
Serious
Allen's neck beard to
neck
shame.
beard. He had that going on, but
Thomas Burke says Dr. Neckbeard.
Jonathan says, "Does something live in that beard?"
Comments. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, this has gone off the rails.
It has. This show is probably like the most like comment directed show we've ever done. But I like it.
I like it.
You. Hope you guys like it. The viewing numbers seems like you guys are liking it, so that's awesome. Man. How about Max? Let's talk about some AFC East stuff. Like we mentioned the Pats and the Jets in that game. It was just funny. But the Dolphins are like on a 4-game winning streak now.
Yeah.
Tua
Dolphins are coming.
After Tua getting a win because Jared Goff just beat the Rams for him, he actually had a good game against the Cardinals that we're playing. So the Dolphins, like, how do we feel about the Dolphins, people? Like those of you that are watching,
I'll answer first.
How do we feel? Yeah, you go ahead and start.
I think we got to be scared about not just the Dolphins for this year, but the Dolphins for years to come. Like Tua looked legit last week against the Cardinals. They finally let Tua be a part of the offensive game plan, whereas against the Rams, it was his first start. They didn't really let him do much. Plus, as you said, Jared Goff beat himself there in that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the Dolphins can get hot, and I think a lot of people are talking early about, this division could come down to the wire in week 17 potentially. And I think people are already talking about maybe you flex the Bills Dolphins game into Sunday Night Football week 17 to save us from the NFC East, which is a good idea to save us from the NFC East. But I hope it doesn't get that close where we have to beat the Dolphins in week 17 and then we win the AFC East. I would like it to be that close.
Is that week 17 where we play the Dolphins, the very last one?
Week 17.
That could be interesting. The Dolphins have to play the Steelers too, correct?
The Dolphins have to play the Steelers. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the rest of our schedule, and the Steelers is like the one thing that's a little worrisome.
I don't think so, because we're playing both the AFC. We're playing the AFC West. The AFC East is playing the AFC West this year. So we're playing. Each of our teams every team in the AFC East is playing one team from the AFC North and one team from the AFC South. So ours is the Steelers. I don't think the Dolphins would play the Steelers.
Let me go over it really quick. So the Dolphins play the Chargers tomorrow, who we play also. After that, the Broncos, who we play. Then the Jets. Then they play the Bengals, who we do not. Then they play the Chiefs, who we already have played. And then then they play the Patriots, Raiders, and then us. So they don't have to play the Steelers, which is almost unfair.
They have to play the Chiefs, though.
I think the rest of the Dolphins' schedule is very winnable. The way they've been playing, but I do want to talk about somebody's comment. I had some back-to-back comments. First off, Justin says apparently Tua is the best quarterback in the AFC East according to national media. This person says Tua tosses 240 and they make him sound like Dan Marino. Allen tosses 240 and they say he's holding his team back. There is a hype train. There is a hype train for like Tua, and it does kind of seem like they need to pump the brakes a little bit.
They're biased because I think everyone's like, "Ooh, it's the Miami Dolphins. They're this sexy team now because they got this new quarterback and they wear these nice, these. Some people think they're nice uniforms, but the weird aquamarine blue. It looks gross to me, but some people like them. Yeah, everyone's fallen in love with that. Ooh, it's Miami. It's exciting. South Beach. Whereas up in Buffalo, Josh Allen keeps lighting the league on fire, and stupid people that go on Fox Sports say that he's garbage and he's still not the best quarterback in the AFC East despite torching the Seahawks with an 80% completion percentage and 400 yards. It doesn't make any sense. These guys will forever be biased. I hate the national media.
And it's nothing like against Tua and the Dolphins. Like, like I think it's cool. He's come back from an injury, and I almost have like no reason to just hate on somebody, even though like they're in our division. But yeah, it does seem like one guy said, and I forget his name, but he said Tua Tunga Vailoa is the best quarterback in the AFC East, and he's like simply because he's not the other three. I forgot the guy's name. And it's like, are you serious? Like, you're seriously gonna look at like what Josh Allen is doing for a 7-2 team and just think like, nope, Tua's better. Like, come the fuck on. Like,
all right, I want to bring up this comment because this is an interesting point, but also I don't see how it's the case. Like, yeah, Tua is hyped by NFL league offices. Buffalo does not help the NFL brand. But I don't understand, like, why shouldn't Josh Allen help the NFL brand? He's a player we've never seen before. He's a dynamic playmaker in the league. He's a quarterback that plays the position like a linebacker. He's so unique. Sports Illustrated came out with a fantastic article about Josh Allen where he's the quarterback no one's ever seen before. And they went into detail about that play he had against the Rams in week 3 where he stiff arms Aaron Donald and he's backpedaling like 20 yards and he's able to save the play by throwing the ball away. Granted, I think there was intentional grounding on the play, but it was a crazy play. And like, he's a player that the league has never seen before. Why shouldn't he help the NFL brand? I don't understand.
And I almost disagree with it because, look at the Cowboys Thanksgiving game. They said that was like one of the most watched games in like years. And then we played the Steelers Sunday night, and I think those ratings were very good as well.
Incredible, yeah.
And then this year they give us 5 primetime games. So I think we have been rewarded. I think I'm sorry, 4 primetime, right? 4 or 5? I think it was
4, but remember the Titans game got moved.
I mean, but it was
Tuesday, so it was basically a bonus primetime game, I guess. If you want to consider Tuesday night primetime, which Tuesday is not prime, but
also when we played the Raiders, we were only like one of 2 or 3 games that were on. To me, that's almost prime time when you have very little competition. So I think the NFL has given us some love, like with those primetime games. They saw what we did. We just got to keep winning. Like that's the thing. Yeah. So as far as the NFL brand goes, I think they're giving us some respect. But when it comes to commentators and brands or something, like I'm curious, like, are we ever going to see Josh Allen like in like a Nike commercial or like doing something like that? Like, you think we'll ever see that happen? Like, if who knows? Speaking of that, sorry, you brought this comment up. Says Robert says,
I'm a bit with Robert here. I'd rather keep the media talking nonsense. We thrive off the underdog rule and use the BS as fuel. Let's go Buffalo. I agree with that to a certain extent, but at the same time, I got to admit to myself, it's unfortunately for me, like I've had a little headspace, like it's taken up a little bit of headspace in there for me of just thinking about these commentators. Sometimes it's like the other day I was watching Nick Wright on Fox Sports just because I wanted to get mad at him, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't care what these people think. These people are idiots. But at the same time, you do want a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Winning cures all, and we just keep winning. So I think we'll be good.
Yeah. So I was talking about, will we ever see Josh Allen like in a commercial, like doing something like that? It'd be cool. And it actually reminded me of something that I did write down for this week, and that was Deshaun Watson's like commercial that he has. Have you seen Deshaun Watson's commercial?
Yeah.
He's like going over like a play-by-play where he almost gets sacked. He like scrambles and he's commentating on it and talking it up. And the entire time, Like, so my thing was like, why the fuck does Deshaun Watson have a commercial? Because whenever I see it, like he's a good quarterback. I think he's one of the best ones out there. But right now, when I see the commercial, it just reminds me that the Texans are sucking this year. Like that's all I can think about. Like, yeah, you made that good play. What's your record again? 2-6 or something?
Yeah,
Like he has a commercial, and we were like, hey, look at Deshaun Watson. Remember him? And it's like, yeah, not the best time right now. Probably shouldn't do
yeah.
it. But yeah, anyhow. Speaking of commercials, what do you think Josh Allen would be in a commercial for after
Sorry,
this win?
after
Go
this
ahead.
comment, because this is a great comment. Diggs, when asked if people take us seriously after Seattle win, hopefully not. That's the
I like
perfect
it.
answer. I
Yeah.
love that. Stephon Diggs has been saying all the right things, doing all the right things ever since he got into Buffalo, and I
Just
love
like the
it.
last guy said, he
That's
likes
the
being the
exact
underdog.
attitude you want.
Yeah, I like being the underdog. It's like
Yeah,
we just got to get all of Bill's Mafia on board because there's some fans who just complain constantly. They're like, we're not getting enough attention. Josh Allen's not getting enough love. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, like,
yeah.
whatever.
It's all
Like,
right.
look at our record. Let's just
You don't
keep
have to be the
winning.
darlings. You don't have
Yeah.
to be the darlings of the league. It's the nature of the city of Buffalo. We're blue collar. I mean, I'm not from Buffalo, but I feel like I associate myself with Buffalo enough. We're blue collar. We're hardworking. We don't need recognition all the time for what we do. We just do it. We just do it.
Yeah. I want to pull this up because this is good for some people. Green Buffalo says the Bills app is free and you don't even need to log in. Yeah, and they stream a lot of games. So if you don't have Sunday Ticket and you're not in the Buffalo area, um, pull up that app on like your phone or your tablet because they do stream a lot of the games. So somebody like me who's in California, I have the Sunday Ticket just so I can watch the Bills. Um, but if you don't have that, because obviously, like, let's be honest, it's a bit much. Check out the Bills mobile app, and they stream a lot of the games, so check those out.
Yeah, I have the Bills mobile app. I've never seen them streaming the games before. I've seen the radio commentary, but that's interesting. I didn't know there was an option to stream it.
The day after my wedding, I was watching it on the app for most of it, and then the last couple, if you check their Twitter page, it says, we'll be streaming the game. It looks like they've been streaming like the majority of the last couple. So, and then of course the NFL app you can watch on your phone as well if it's like a Monday night or something game like that most of the time.
Yeah.
So check that out. Buffalo Mania News says, does Allen get a Pro Bowl? I think that is very close. If he doesn't get MVP, the fact that he's in contention,
he'll get a Pro Bowl for sure. He'll get Pro Bowl for sure.
mean,
Like tons of guys get the Pro Bowl nomination. I think Tyrod Taylor got Pro Bowl nominations like in 2017 or something.
Because right now,
he'll get the Pro Bowl for sure.
Mitch Trubisky got a Pro Bowl like his second season, right?
Yeah.
And now he's benched. I think Josh Allen could absolutely get a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but Justin makes a great point. He'll get the Pro Bowl. He won't play.
Yeah.
He'll be getting ready for
That's
Super
what we
Bowl.
hope for.
Yes.
And I don't even know if they're doing a Pro Bowl this season. I think they just said they're doing I
don't think they are doing a Pro Bowl.
activities, but maybe like you can still get like the honors or something of it. It's like,
it
if we
makes
had a
sense.
game, you would do it.
In the craziest year ever, where the COVID protocols and we want to make sure everyone stays safe, why would we have the thing that no one ever likes, which is the Pro Bowl? We don't need
They're
that.
talking about doing
we don't
like
need that at all.
They're talking about doing like activities or something. And I remember last year they were having like a throwing one, and didn't like Jarvis Landry or something do a better like accuracy performance than Lamar Jackson?
Did he? I have no clue. That's interesting.
Tony B says he can. Go for it.
Josh Allen can do the All-State commercial, tearing up defenses and saying you need coverage for mayhem like me. Does he have the? He doesn't have the All-State guy voice though. They gotta dub in that guy's voice over Josh Allen.
Like as a joke, like knowingly, like Josh Allen's moving his mouth and he's like All-State.
All-State.
All-State. Whose is better? All-State.
We'll miss the skills competitions. Said no one ever. No, you're not going to miss the Pro Bowl skills competitions, Cameron. Really?
But it would be cool if they did it then, and Josh Allen and Mahomes could do like their throw off.
Yeah, let's do that.
And Russell Wilson, like bringing him, screw it, throw in Kyler Murray. Maybe put Phillip Rivers in there just so we can laugh at him with Drew Brees.
If the Bills play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, I don't think they should even play the game. I think they should just do the throw off.
No, Max, they should play the game.
Yeah, that'd be more
I
fun.
should absolutely play the game. That was
That's true. That was a dumb
sorry.
idea. That was a dumb idea. When as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that's dumb.
It's okay. So yeah, we got about 15 more minutes. Max has a hard out of 7:30. So
Yeah.
keep your comments going for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And let's what do you guys want to talk about? So we're playing the Cardinals, Max. We get to play in a dome. That's one thing.
Dome
So we don't have to
time.
worry about dome time. Anyways, we don't have to worry about weather. We don't got to worry about the weather. We have
Josh Allen's
Kyler
been
Murray.
great in the dome.
That's true. He did pretty well against Texas. First half, it kind of fell apart a little in the second half.
I heard. Sorry, keep going.
Offense wise, we have DeAndre Hopkins, who Trey did really good in the first half. He basically deleted him in the first half of that wild card game last year. Hopkins kind of came back a little bit in the second half. New offense, new scheme, but I feel like Trey White can probably do that again. Christian Kirk is another one.
Yeah.
Another weapon. Is he a slot? I think he's a slot guy, right?
Yeah, I think he's a slot guy.
Okay.
And then
Taron Johnson. Taron Johnson again.
Then Larry Fitzgerald.
Gosh, dude. Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, the old guy.
Keeps doing it.
He does.
Yeah, it's gonna listen.
The Frank Gore of wide receivers.
Frank Gore. Yeah, it's true.
Or is Frank Gore the Larry Fitzgerald of running backs?
I don't know if that's a fair comparison because like Larry Fitzgerald is better than Frank Gore now. I think for sure.
Right now,
Larry Fitzgerald still does things where you're like, wow, he's still pretty great.
Okay, so
obviously
at his age, you think he's a better wide receiver?
Frank Gore is just kind of at his
back?
age. Yeah, in terms of like Frank Gore kind of is not that great right now. Like he still can get it done a little bit, but not that great.
Let's
talking about. Oh, sorry.
Who takes the CB2 spot? Dane Jackson. They gave it to him during the Jets, so I don't see why not. Max, what do you think? Who else is there? There's Cam Lewis.
So we got Daryl Worley, Dane Jackson.
It's possible they have maybe Cam Lewis and Taron Johnson rotating in because I know they're kind of trying Cam Lewis out at the slot corner, maybe against the Titans, but I think he got hurt very early. Taron Johnson's been playing a little bit better, but I wonder if they still try to maybe experiment with other guys like Cam Lewis.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a mix of both Dane Jackson, Cam Lewis, Taron Johnson in the slot. Like I think it'll be a mix and match. Maybe Daryl Worley some action until this coaching staff is like, okay, this guy's been performing the best. Like we're going to keep him out there for the majority of the time. I don't think it'll be a clear-cut CB2 guy this game because it's just so crazy with Josh Norman being out, testing positive. Wish you the best of luck, Josh Norman.
This guy was so confident in his comment that he posted 4 times. Kyler is going to body Josh. I don't know unless they do that afterwards because they both play offense. So it's I don't see
if you're 5'10", 5'9", how do you body the 6'5" guy? I don't understand.
Okay, so he's thinking that at one point they're going to throw Josh in at middle linebacker because him and Tremaine kind of have similar body types. Like they're both like 6'5", 240 or something. And then they're going to say, Josh, go after Kyler. And he's going to do it and lose.
But no, what in reality it would look like, it's like that. There's this famous video of like Zion Williamson when he was in high school playing high school basketball. He had this little white kid checked into the game, like this 5'6" kid, and he's guarding him. And it'd be like that, except it's Josh Allen's Zion Williamson, Kyler Murray's the skinny little white kid.
Good question. Green Buffalo says Cam Lewis is on IR. Did he go on IR? My mistake.
Shoot, I think
I know he was dealing with.
We got a little excited talking about Cam Lewis.
I know he was dealing with like a hand or a wrist thing. Did he end up going on IR? Sorry, if it happened, it like totally went under.
I don't know.
Damn. I wish I knew. Sorry. It was like one of those small things I didn't know. Yeah. You guys got me. I'm sorry.
All right. So let's get back to this, this matchup on, these good wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins is obviously Trey White's going to take Hopkins. last time they met, Trey bodied him through that first half. Remember, he got that fumble punch out too in that playoff game.
True.
And then when it comes to other guys, Dane Jackson and excuse me, sorry, not Cam Lewis, but Daryl Worley maybe. They're going to be on Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk. I think that'll be enough. If Micah Hyde can't go, that's kind of scary. But I think Jaquan Johnson, I think he'll be able to suit up, and I think he'll be all right. And yeah, it's going to be a test for us. It's going to be another test. It's not a great matchup like the Seahawks-Bills game was for the Bills.
Yeah, agreed. Jordan Phillips is out, right? I think I heard that.
Yeah, I believe he's out.
Out.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's going to be out for the Cardinals. Yep.
So he might still be able to be on the sideline.
He'll still do his pump-ups thing.
I've seen recently that like home team players that are inactive, like I think are still able to be out there. So he's still there, but I think it'll be a good game. I think it could be very similar to the Bills Seahawks. I hope it's almost like a shutout, but I also hope that we can, not let Kyler do anything. That would be idealistic. It's funny. I was listening to Joe Marino of Locked On Bills this week, and he was talking about just how unqualified Cliff Kingsbury is to be a head coach. And it's. I mean, obviously they're 5-3.
They're 5-3.
So you would think, well, he must be doing a good job, but it's just funny that this guy was even given the opportunity with his background. They said he was like he was a quarterback for a while, but he was like a 5th or 6th round pick. He was just a backup, and then he bounced around on practice squads, and then then he got like a couple jobs in college, and then he was a head coach or OC on, I think, Oklahoma or whatever. It was the team where he had like Baker Mayfield and
Texas Tech,
Kyler Murray. Yeah, whichever one. He had Baker Mayfield and like Kyler Murray to play with, and then like he doesn't lead them to winning seasons. And after like losing that job, he gets an NFL gig. And that's just interesting. So it was just funny hearing Joe Marino talk about it, how he's just like he's so unqualified. And again, I know they're 5-3. They are 5-3, but this could be the downfall, I guess.
I'm seeing a couple good questions right now. One thing I want to bring up. Cameron says, how important is this win? Because I'm not feeling great about it. This isn't the thing that's good about this week is it's not a crucial win that we have to have. It's not a conference opponent. It's the NFC. It's an NFC opponent. We are 7-2 right now. We can afford to lose this game. I don't want to lose this game. I think we're definitely capable of winning this game, but I'm also not feeling great about it in the sense that this news coming out about, Josh Norman testing positive, that's adversity that we got to face now going to Arizona. Josh Norman's not going to travel with us. Levi Wallace is not going to travel. Tyler Croft is out. Like that's adversity that this organization is going to face. And the news comes today, a day before, kickoff. So that whole situation just has me a little rattled. I'm not super confident in our ability to say, okay, shoot, these guys were going to be a big part of our game plan. Now they're out of the lineup. They're not even traveling with us. What are we going to do now? It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be difficult.
I gotta disagree with part of it, Max. And this are people who said it last week. The people who think that like NFC opponents aren't as important. I disagree. If it's a good team, first off, your record is your record. Whether it's AFC or not, like this is what I'll say. A win is a win. NFC, like, I'm sorry. Somebody was saying this about the Seahawks week last week. They said, it's an NFC team. It's not that important. Like, I'm sorry. You're playing a terrible defense and your defense is playing like the MVP candidate right now. Like, you got to show up. Like, you want to see what your team's about. Like, if your goal is to get to the Super Bowl, then you got to win as many of these games as possible. So when people say like, NFC they're not that important. Like, well, when your record counts and it comes down to it, like you got to get those wins.
Yeah, I guess what I'd say is like, if we fall to 7-3, the sky isn't falling. I think we still have a very good team that can make a playoff run, even if we fall to 7-3. Obviously, there'll be overreactions after the game about what transpired if we lose. Every game is important. I understand that, but like, I don't know. I'm okay if we lose this game.
I'm not okay, but I will say that the offense Kyler Murray is not Russell Wilson. His stats, I just looked them up. I think it said he's like 16 touchdowns for 7. His rushing yards are probably good, but they do have a better defense. So we got to expect our offense to hopefully keep it up. I hope they can. Last week they were playing the worst passing defense historically, and they did very well. I think they were playing a markedly better defense this week. So, but yeah, I want the win. I still think it's important.
I'm not trying to be negative here. I want to win. I think we should win. I think it's going to be tough though. And if we do win this game, I'll feel really good. Be like, okay, we made a road trip without some of our guys. We're coming off this high of beating the Seahawks. Let's get right. And remember, it's a week-to-week league, and beat the Cardinals. I think we can do it. And I'll be super hyped if we do.
Really quick, Thomas, I think you just joined. Jordan Phillips is not playing. He is going to be out. Somebody says thoughts on Dropson Knox. Yeah, his first game back was against Seattle. And again, the only memory I have of him was getting just bullied by Jamal Adams.
Yeah,
and then giving up a sack. So none of the tight ends did a whole lot. Am I right in that Seattle game?
No, none of the tight ends. I don't think.
Well,
Tyler Kroft. I don't remember Kroft doing anything.
Kroft, no, he had a touchdown actually.
Oh yeah, he had the touchdown. That's right.
He had the one touchdown, so one catch on one target. He was there, but that was also just a really good throw from Josh Allen, not taking away from Tyler Kroft. But other than that, tight ends, I think Reggie Gilliam was part of that big special teams hit. I think it was him and Daryl Johnson, right? Am I wrong?
Johnson, yep.
Daryl
Johnson. Yeah. Daryl Johnson was the biggest part of that, I believe. And yeah, it was back to that Seattle game. It was just it was perfect for the Bills right from opening kickoff where Andre Roberts brings it out. You nearly said Andre Holmes. That's a bad memory of a Bill.
Yeah. Green Buffalo said it's always the longest day waiting for kickoff at 4. That's why I like being on West Coast. I only have to wait till 1, but it is longer. Like I have to wake up, and for me it's like 4, it's like 5 hours. So yeah, I love 10 a.m. games. I'm sorry. Like prime time is good, but I wish we can be given the prime time games and say thank you. But now can I exchange them for 10 a.m. games on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast? I wish I could do that.
West Coast guy. Ridiculous. I like
Mitch Morse. Mitch Morse is in, right? He was practicing in full this week. I believe he is in.
I believe.
Max, do you agree?
Not sure.
Oh, Young King mentions John Brown's first return game to Arizona. He was on Arizona for a little bit, so he's coming back.
Yep.
I don't know how much he has against him. I mean, it's like entirely new GMs and head coaches.
It's a revenge game. No,
he's gonna walk out and be like, "I know that guy, maybe that guy."
Yeah,
like, I don't even know how much he remembers.
Probably not anyone. He remembers Larry Fitzgerald. He's like, "Yeah, that guy. I remember Larry, but everyone else."
Larry was there before me. He's still here after me. He will be. But
I'm kind of sad that Jordan Phillips is out for the Cardinals because it's like, you kind of want to be able to face that guy again. I'm sure there would have been some fun smack talk if he was in the trenches going against our O line. Yeah, it would have been nice to see that.
But I'm not going to complain that he's out.
Yeah, I mean, I won't complain, but it's unfortunate for him.
All right,
we love Jordan Phillips. Yeah,
it is almost 4:30. We have to call it here.
7:30 on the East Coast.
Yeah, 7:30. Sorry, 4:30 for me. 7:30.
Your time is wrong. Your time is wrong. My time is right.
Technically, it's the same. It's just
East Coast time is universal.
Yeah, but we got to get going. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is a pretty good turnout based on the viewership. I really like how this episode went. You guys really steered the conversation this one, Max, like more than the previous. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's partly because we were not as prepared beforehand, but also this was great because, we were able to interact with a lot of you guys. You guys definitely steered the ship. And,
well, we always worry about spending too much time on game reactions because by the time we get to do it, it's Saturday and you've already heard like all the other Buffalo fanatics do it and you probably don't even care about it. But it was good. So we didn't really do it as much this time. And because of that, like you guys really steered in. You had really good questions. So, Sean, how often do we guys do these? Buffalo Fanatics has a live show every day. and that is we are mostly every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Rico is always right after the game, but he also does one on Fridays. But throughout the week, they're between Max, would you say about like 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, Rico does the post game reports. I think probably like an hour after every game, depending on what time the game is played. And yeah, there's vidcasts every week. There's the Hump Day Hotline. There's the Bills guys that go, I believe, on Mondays and Thursdays now. So we have vidcasts all the time. We also have podcasts on the network. So check out the Buffalo
podcast.
Fanatics.
But throughout the week, they're mostly are between, like I said, like 8 or 9. So we have the Bills guys; they do 2 a week. Rico, he does like 3 a week now. The Hump Day Hotline is on Wednesdays. So every evening, we do ours on Saturdays about 6 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes that changes by like an hour. Follow us both on YouTube. We usually, if there is going to be a change, we'll put it out there. But it's usually like an hour, maybe 30-minute difference. So that's when we do our thing. But
and quick promo, go follow us on Twitter at Bills_overdue and on bffanshop.com, BuffaloFanaticsFanshop.com, all awesome Buffalo Fanatics merch. You get 10% off with the promo code overdue because you listen to us. And yeah, go check that out. Love you guys in the comments. Loving the comments today. This is awesome.
We have the our show Twitter, but to be honest, I think Max, we're both more active on our solo
100%.
Twitters. I'm always looking for conversations to get into. I don't really start too much, but I'm always looking, and I love commenting on, unless someone like beats me to the punch with like my take, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I love talking about it. That's why I'm on Twitter. That's why I'm doing this. And Tom, he knows the schedule. He seems like he knows our thing. He's here. Thank you, Tom, for ask Tom. If you want to know when we're on, Tom knows.
Ask Tom.
But thank you, Cameron, for saying solid fucking show, boys. Go Bills. I agree.
Smash that like.
I had a very
we got 19 likes on this vidcast. That's pretty good. I love that.
Yeah. I had a very good time tonight. Like, this was really fun. This might be the format going forward, just much more comment driven. That was good. Like I say, I still like giving our reactions, but I understand by the time we're here, it's a little late, but I still like putting out a few points. So I'll try to summarize it more and just make it less. But anyhow, yep, I do see that chat barely moving. That means that's our time to call it. Thank you guys so much. My name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalornia.
And my name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. Great show, and go Bills.
Go Bills.